Welcome back to another Words of Wokism random order rundown. I believe this is number 9. Today's word is collective. Collective. You may think you know what it means, but in the context of your child's education, maybe not so much. You will see it most often in SEL. You will see it specifically listed as one of the goals of SEL because SEL went from being something that was about helping individual students, in particular those who come from troubled backgrounds or have some other kind of reason for needing formal instruction in emotional management and a knowledge of your own emotions, self-awareness, social skills, things like that. It went from being individual remediation oriented and helping the individual develop those skills that would otherwise be developed by parenting or just socializing with friends, to something that is for the whole student body and the parents and the community at large. The idea being that there is an appropriate set of emotional reactions, social skills, self-knowledge, etc., for all those people that can be determined by the folks at Castle. They know what it is, right? Now, why would they know what it is? Why would they know what could possibly be appropriate? We could argue maybe that we know what's appropriate for an individual and what's not appropriate for an individual. So, for example, having a temper meltdown every time you don't get your way, I think rational people could probably agree that that's not good management of your own emotions, okay? Walking around insulting everyone you interact with and being rude and nasty and calling people names because you're having a bad day is probably not very self-aware, probably also not good emotional regulation, interrupting in conversations, those kinds of things. I think we could agree that individually, probably a bad idea. I think as a society, we can understand what manners and norms would be for individual interactions. Even an individual interacting with a group, you walk into a group of people and they're all having a conversation, you just interrupt. Okay, I think we can agree on that. But how could any one organization or group or government decide what a group of people should feel? What an age group, what a race of people, or any other kind of cluster of individuals or collective should feel, think, or do in interacting with others? Just marinate in that space. Who could possibly know how an entire group of people should behave in every situation or as part of a group? Pretty tough to do, right? Okay. So in Castle's goals, it states that SEL is there to help the students in their pursuit of collective goals. Now, they don't get very specific. What kind of collective goals are we talking about? Are we just talking about something that people do as a team, collaborating and sharing their different viewpoints and their different skills to, let's say, like clean up a riverbed because it's dirty, or, solve a problem at the local level and come together to fix it? No, that's not what they're talking about. You would think so, but no. Collective goals in the world of SEL and in the world of social justice is getting everybody on the same page to have the same worldview, to define those goals the same way. So there's not collaboration. They might even use the word collaboration, but as my guest last night mentioned, it's not really collaborative. Collaborative is you can have your view and I can have mine, and we join forces and we share and we do different things to solve a problem. That's collaboration. That's not what SEL is seeking. SEL is seeking unity of thought, unity of mind, unity of behavior. So there is one correct way to be. When they talk about a collective, they talk about having a defined, proper way to act. Not just when you're on your own and making individual decisions, but when you, as a part of a group, if you want to be accepted, if you want to belong, if you want to be right in the eyes of the rest of the collective, if you don't want to cease to exist. Because you see, you don't get to just go be your own person. You know, that's not one of the options. One of the options is not, yeah, y'all go on and I'm going to be over here doing something different, thinking something different, feeling something different. And as long as I don't bother you, why should you care, right? That would be the American way. Live and let live. I don't have to agree with your collective goals. I'm going to go do my own individual goal. Yeah, that would be a problem. That would be defined in the world of SEL as somebody who needs some supports for their, soon to be diagnosed mental condition, something you and I used to call individuality, independent thought, just not wanting to be part of the group. What if you just don't want to? I don't want to be part of the group. I want to be a lone wolf. I want to go and do what I want and think what I want and pursue my own dreams and just be me and not be, me, the white, middle class, female, cisgender, blah, 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 blah set of identities. I don't want to be any of that. I don't want to be any of that. I'm me. No, I'm sorry. You need to accept your identities. You need to find those and define those as early as kindergarten. And you need to understand what that means, what you now owe the collective in terms of your self-awareness about your biases. That's what self-awareness is for, to understand what's wrong with you because of the group you're in, or how you're a victim and oppressed because of the group you're in. So your collective goal is being part of the collective. That's what collective goals are. Collective goals are not we're all working together to solve a problem. It's becoming part of the collective is the collective goal. You see how they play with words? Working towards collective goals. Becoming part of the collective. The hero is toil, and toil is unthinkable outside the collective. That's the Soak realism we talked about on the Dissident Dispatch, published February 28th. So today, last night, whatever, the 27th, 28th, 2023. So whatever you're watching this, if you're watching this, the day I'm making it, which is the 28th, if you're watching this some other time in the future, go back to that date and look for the Dissident Dispatch with Juana Tran, and you will understand a little bit more about Soak realism, socialist realism, and you will understand what I'm talking about with the hero is toil, and toil is unthinkable outside the collective. So part of what inspired me to do this video about the word collective was to help you understand that it's not just, a group of people that have voluntarily decided. No. It's that Borg that you must strive to be part of, that your goal is to be part of it. Your goal as an individual is to shed your individual skin and become so one with it, which of course you can never really do. So the work is never done. So collective goals are never accomplished. That's how SEL stays relevant forever. That's how it is a marketable product forever. It's the drug you need for life. Just like the pharmaceuticals they're going to put you on if you refuse to accept that SEL is the drug you need for life. You are a patient, a mental patient for the rest of your life, one way or the other. Either you're under the loving care of the counselors and the social workers who are teaching you SEL, or the parents SEL, or the community SEL, whatever. It doesn't end at the schoolhouse door. One of these days we'll do a show about the, whole child, whole school, whole community, the WISC model, and start to explain what's going on right now out in California. It's fully actualized out there. The school is healthcare facility. The school is now a mental health hospital. I mean, it's all under one roof. That's coming to a school near you because there is not to be a separation. The education doesn't stop at 17 or 18. We've got other stakeholders. We've got other people. If you look at the wheel, the castle wheel, it goes outward from the students to the community, to the society, to the culture. I mean, it goes all the way out. So they're not done. You're not done. And the idea is that you'll buy into this. You'll believe that, well, of course, I always have something to learn about how to be a better person. But does it then follow you should be learning it from the state? Should it follow that you learn it from this one organization their way? are you free to pursue your own individual goals as far as self-actualization and self-awareness and emotional management and all that stuff? What if you just want to be that loner who doesn't like people? And, again, it's just, I want to just stay by myself, hang out in my apartment with my 10 cats and, listen to cello music and eat pizza and not really go out socially because that's just what I feel like doing because it's my life and it's mine to decide what I want to do. Well, that's a problem. Now, you might disagree and you might say, well, that's terrible. What a sad life, etc. Okay, maybe it is sad, but it's your life. Who's to decide? And it's same with your child. It's your child's life. And what you might be thinking now is, but Deb, you're talking about the collective. And I get where you're going. They want us all to think the same. And it's kind of this like mind meld, group think. I kind of get that, why they'd want us to have the same worldview. And that sounds creepy enough. But then why are they talking about all this, hyper individualism? Like I'm a cat, I'm a tree, these are my pronouns, blah, 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 blah. Well, notice what those things all have in common. They're not true. Those identities are not real. They're not real. So while they're hyper individualized, they still place the person, first of all, they remove them from their family of origin. So there's nothing that separates, there's nothing to keep them from being in the collective that's run by the state, first of all, namely the family. You get to choose your own collective. And the second thing is, it doesn't matter how many weird individual markers you attach to yourself, you're still part of this cluster known as LGBTQIA+. And what's the plus for? Whatever they want. So they'll just keep adding letters to keep you in the collective of weirdness. So you think you're individual. You think you're unique, but you're not. You're not. Your uniqueness is actually fake because first of all, the thing you're saying you are, you're not by any stretch of the imagination. And secondly, it puts you solidly still in the collective known as queer, known as not real, known as whatever this thing is that we've just invented. This is the socialist realism, which is obviously an oxymoron. It's inverted. It's, it's not real. It's their version of realism, which is that reality doesn't exist. Question everything to the point where reality doesn't exist and you are now nothing. You're nothing solid. You're nothing concrete. You're nothing that you can hold on to. Congratulations, you have achieved the collective goal of being nothing. You're unthinkable outside the collective. So while it seems incongruous, it's not. Remember we used to say back when we were kids, Gen Xers, that all the goth kids, whatever, they weren't counterculture. They were just conforming to a different kind of culture. And they were, right? They weren't really different. They were just finding a group to conform to. Well, now we've got the Uber group to conform to, known as queerness, known as this giant alphabet soup of letters that keeps expanding, known as, pick a thing. It's still a giant collective of not whatever came before. Like Hannah Arendt said, we talked about this last night, that the first thing you need to do to get totalitarianism going is to decide that you have contempt for everything you have, contempt for what is. And then you must be convicted that everything must change. You know not to what, you know not how, you don't care. The glorious future is on the other side of becoming part of the collective. So collective goal, collective this, we got to work towards collective this, collective knowledge, co-create the knowledge, anything that's or like that is aiming for that thing. So what I want you to do from now on is when you see the word collective in any document from your kid's school, that should be a giant red flag just waving in your face. Wait, like a matador's cape. And what you should do is be the bull. Be the bull. Now, I don't mean, go attack the matador. I just mean say no. No. Just no. No, my child does not have collective goals, does not want to be part of the collective. My child is an individual, a unique individual little soul, and will be respected as such. And if you cross me on this, we have a problem. You need to say no. People say, was that opting out? But no, forget opting out forms. They're not going to reject that. They're not going to respect that, rather. They can respect opt-out forms. There's nothing legal that you can do except pull your kid out of the school, which you should do. When you see the word collective start popping up all over the place, you need to reaffirm for your child they're not part of any collective. They shouldn't want to be part of any collective. Fight that peer pressure the way our parents taught us to fight it. And say no. And you don't be part of the collective. They tried this during COVID. Put on your mask, get your shot, fit in and stay home, do this, do that. Only people who are part of the correct groups, remember the dancing nurses? That's the collective. They're okay. You're not. You're outside of it. You should strive to be like them. You should want to be, and you should conform to be part of that nameless, faceless collective. Look at that. They get to celebrate. They get to dance. They get to do. Stop being you. Make yourself basically non-existent, but for your status as what we define as essential. And you're fine. Except you're not. You're invisible. You cease to exist. So you just say no. Now, like I said, the best way to say no to the collective is not to be part of any portion of it, including the class at school. That's my advice. You're like, Deb, what should I do? Say no. No. And say it again and again and again and again and again. Walk away. Don't be part of the collective, and you won't be captured by the collective. There's no way to halfway in it. Like, I'm going to have one toe in the collective. Go ahead. They're just going to beat you up for not having both feet in the collective. Anytime you try to assert yourself a little bit, it's just going to be like you need to go farther. There'll be that constant friction. When you say no, it's no. No is a complete sentence. No, I'm not doing what you want. No, I'm not being part of your club. I'm not joining the Rainbow Club, the Prism Club, the anything club. No, I'm not. No. That's what you do to avoid collective goals. Okay? So that's what collective means. Not what you thought it was, is it? Hope you found this informative and helpful, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.